tilé tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ̀bá nǹkan mọ Adéyẹmọ. Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ̀ láyà bí àrá orúkọ tó ń dẹrù bó lórúkọ gan. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sùn o torí pé kúra akọ̀lé fojú kégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá ń kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o. Ọ̀wọ́n erin ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan lè ṣí wà lọ́nà mọ́ ẹjẹ́ àtìmọ̀ṣọ́ kan ká lè débi re. Ẹjẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo Òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ gèdè wodò sànyà ìsànyà ò rẹ́ràn bàbá ńlá ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè gbòó ìkan ń ṣe yìí ní dábọ̀dàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n mọ̀ gbòó mọ̀ rẹ́ kí ló dé gbòó mọ̀ rẹ́ sí ọmọ òkúta sánrán ìgbàgede gbòó sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní gbòó mọ̀ rẹ́ bẹ́sìn bá bímọ méjì ní gbòó á fi kọ́ pọ́kó sí amúkan yòókù bọ̀ sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí ò lọ́rọ̀ ọgbọ́ á fi ṣẹrù wálé wàràmùjẹ ọmọ onílé ọ̀la àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ségesège tọ́láwọn ní bomi kó sí mu wọ́n láwọn ní bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kò fi ń kọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sí mu wọ́n sì bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé tí ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Ìgbòho onírẹ̀lẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta òṣègbè fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò pọ́sibú kó dòdò láyé ń bí ó kù díẹ̀ tí kò domi láéláé tó nílé domi Sunday Ìgbòho arógun má ti bí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kó.
This is Star Radio UK.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone. Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
Welcome.
Are you ready to turn it up? In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
Wow, it is the Wednesday edition.
Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7. Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
Ìbàràpá lápapọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ àdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àti ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tilé tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ̀bá nǹkan mọ Adéyẹmọ. Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ̀ láyà bí àrá orúkọ tó ń dẹrù bó lórúkọ gan. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sùn o torí pé kúra akọ̀lé fojú kégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá ń kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o.
This is Star Radio.
Ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan lè ṣí wà lọ́nà mọ́ ẹjẹ́ àtìmọ̀ṣọ́ kan ká lè débi re. Ẹjẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo.
Wow, and a very good evening and welcome to Naija Voices. It's cold outside, it's warm inside the building. I welcome you, Easy Dollar, and good evening to you all the way in Miami. Shout out to those of you that have joined us, Easy in Miami.
Welcome.
This is Star Radio UK.
Welcome.
While we're still waiting for the signal back in the studio, I say good evening to those of you that have joined us.
This is Star Radio UK.
As we say all the time, there's a lot happening, and this is where it's all happened. But for now, I'm still waiting for the signal from the producer.
This is Star Radio UK.
A very, very good evening and welcome to the program.
This is Star Radio UK.
We say all the time, there's a lot happening, and this is where now still waiting.
This is Star Radio UK.
Very, very good.
Welcome.
This is Star Radio UK.
What about now? It's good now. All right. So it seems that sometimes you got to bear with us. There's a lot of technicality. We're doing a lot of upgrade back in the studio, and I'm sure you can hear me back. For those of you that are listening to us directly on the Star Radio UK network. Like I said, it's just 10 minutes past. I don't want to waste too much of our time because there's a lot to crack in. There's still so much when it comes to Nigeria economy. Many diasporans will be sending money home to their loved ones, and the expectation is you should have access to that money. But unfortunately, it seems that we are not getting, money out of the bank. There was a robbery in Ikere in Ekiti State today. I saw the images, a very situation room where what I can say is that it seems that, due to the economic situation in Nigeria, many criminals have decided now to attack the bullion van. The images have been sent to me. We cannot share that with you on the social media this evening, but I can tell you that at the Wema Bank at Ikere in Ekiti State, the southwest of Nigeria, there was an attack on the bullion van, and that literally means that Christmas is coming, and many people, especially the criminals, are also trying to lay their hands on money as well. But like I always say, we start with the daily quote. The daily quote for this evening is very, very important, and it says, "Don't be afraid." Many of us are afraid. Why are you afraid? You shouldn't be afraid. I mean, if you want to, join the Yoruba Nation struggle, don't be afraid. Just join it. If you want to remain Nigerians, just be part of the political party. But I'm sure nothing is going to come out of it, as we can see what is happening in Rivers State presently right now. We've talked about the bomb blast that took place in Kaduna, but tonight my focus is all on the Naira. Why are we now finding it difficult to retake or go to the POS or the ATM and I can easily withdraw my own cash? Do we now say that Nigeria economy is completely dead, or what is the central bank doing when it comes to taking out your own hard-earned currency? I mean, I've sent money to my loved ones. I expect them to withdraw the money, but it seems that is not happening.
This is Star Radio UK.
Once again, a very shout out to those of you that have joined us. I'll be congratulating ourselves later. There's a lot of news I'll be sharing with us, but it's just 12 minutes past. And like I said, this is still the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. If this is your first time joining us, why not share the broadcast, invite somebody else so that we can be able to learn and see what is happening in Nigeria as well. But like I always say, it is just happening right here in the studio.
In your car,
At work.
at home,
On your smartphone.
Well, you can listen to us on your App Store. You can listen to us as well on the Play Store. You can download us. You can also make sure you follow us on the Star Radio UK on the platforms. You know, we have so many platforms on the Facebook, on the YouTube. But most importantly, click on that notification bell. Every Wednesday at exactly 1800 hours, you will join me right here on the
in your car,
At work.
at home.
On your smartphone.
This is Star Radio UK.
and that shows that at exactly almost 1900 hours, and you will be able to listen to me on this network.
This is Star Radio UK.
Well, because of our time, and I want to make sure that as many Nigerians or the Yorubas, the Biafrans, I'm going to be telling you there's going to be a total lockdown on the 15th, because of Nnamdi Kanu returned back to court. I'll be telling you what the Biafra government in exile under Simon Ekpa is saying, especially for those of you that needs to listen, because most of you are not listening. You know, it is the right to self-determination. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will respect that right. We will come on the negotiation table. We will decide whether we still want to remain as one country or not. Soviet Union was dissolved in 1991. I don't see any reason why we should be scared if Nigeria needs to dissolve. But before Nigeria dissolve, we want to talk about your money. Money is very, very important, and I have, our own, financial analyst that tells us what we need to know. Very good evening to you. I hope you can hear me loud and clear back in the studio, back in your end. Good evening, Mr. Bishop Adesina.
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, I can hear you, but your volume seems to be a little bit low. Not too sure why, because we're well connected. Let me see it again. Good evening, and let's take it again one more time.
Yeah, good evening over there in UK.
Well, it seems that Amatan has literally allowed your phone to come back to life. On a very serious note, what is the weather like in Nigeria today?
Yeah, just speaking, Amatan is not yet full house, but the traces is just showing, and it shows that before we enter the Christmas period, just a week after from now, the Amatan should be evident.
Okay, well, let's now talk about don't be afraid to invest in getting to know people, learning from them. You won't regret the result. It seems many people are worried and scared about Bishop Adesina, especially when it comes to Ruba. Let's quickly touch on Ruba. I mean, what is Ruba? Because many people keep coming up to me and say, is Ruba the Yoruba currency? Is Yuba the currency that we're going to be spending? And why are we not seeing it as a paper like the Naira? Why are we just talking about it in a kind of a template? We see it all the time. People are promoting it, but we don't see it. Do we have a Yoruba central bank? Let's quickly touch on the Ruba before we go into the Naira.
All right, thank you very much. A lot of our people need a big education, and that's why we are still all out educating our people. All this thing is not rocket science, and it's not hard to understand. But I know that with the push that we've been doing in a couple of 6 months' time, a lot of understanding and a lot of acknowledgement has come up. Many people, among even those who were skeptical about it, are now up and opening accounts and saving their money in Ruba, because they now see the rate of devaluation of Naira within 6 or 7 months. Naira is on a free fall and fast, and they see that since the Ruba has been on the functioning platform, it's been good and upright, and it's been stable. It's not no bad record. Now, Ruba is proposed Yoruba nation currency, and I explained that there are 3 reasons why Professor Emeritus Adebanji Akintoye gave the execution order that we should go ahead and make it functional. because of a lot of evidence and proof that has come on the table of our diplomatic leaders. Now, number one, to save the financial asset of our people in homeland against devaluation of naira and against loss of your fund in during a time of anarchy or a time of riot or Nigeria, because Nigeria is on the verge of breakup. So, and with what happened during the Mifili time, January, February, March, it sent a big signal to our diplomatic be that we have to have something like a currency functioning to save the financial asset of our people away from the Central Bank of Nigeria or Naira, and so that when everything is now our own, our people can have their money restored in whatever we can now say is our currency.
Okay, so
now number two is to help transfer the financial asset of our people in diaspora back home or anywhere they want to transfer against restriction of funds by Western governments, against the money laundering tag or law, or against the lockup, because we have intelligence that even when Nigeria breaks today and Yoruba people or Igbo people or Nigerians around the world want to leave and come back to their country, those Western nations, they are going to pound on Nigerians' accounts. They won't let them move with their money because they know that when Nigeria pull out with their financial assets like that, going home is going to affect their economy. Nigeria, we are large, and we are resourceful, and the Western world know that very well. And so, so we have to have something to help move our people's resources like that, and it won't be under the mercy of the Western world bank. And the third is to test run the economy of Yoruba people through the traffic of people transacting Ruba on its network. So with that data will be useful for our diplomatic leaders when they are on the international economic summit thereabout for analysis of our economic growth, even though we are test running.
Okay, so if I get it
those
right,
are the three reasons our professor give the order.
Okay, so in a quick summary, because I really want us to move on briefly, but it's also important because many people are communicating and asking these questions, and it is important that we get it clear out. So the Yoruba doesn't have a central bank yet, so the Ruba is just a proposed way of saving, our own individuals, group of people, especially the Yorubas that are tired of Nigeria, so that we don't end up losing whatever value. Does that literally mean that it has to be the layman that has to move their money to a Ruba account, or is this a general thing, and is it compulsory?
Thank you very much. It's not compulsory, and there are many other options, but Ruba is the only Yoruba indigenous currency that is functioning among our self-determination now, and that is reliable, and that is that has control among our self-determination, and the order is the control, and the order, the supreme order, is from our diplomatic leader, Professor Banji Akintoye. Nobody can say, no company can say, I am the owner of Ruba. It belongs to the Yoruba people. There are different sets of groups that works on it. There are groups that Baba gave assignment that produce the name. There are even media groups that Baba gave assignment that scouts the name. Like I made mention of Omoluka, Yeyedara, the scouts that what can be our currency name be, and they come together and agreed on Ruba, and the group that Baba gave assignment on some other set of things, and they agree with that name also. We have Ruba and Dua. The Ruba is paper, the Dua is coin. So just the way you have dollars and cents, pounds and pennies, so we have Ruba and Dua. So 100 Dua make 1 Ruba.
Right.
So the Ruba is the higher currency, while the Dua is the lesser currency. The Dua is taken from Odudua, while the Ruba is taken from Yoruba. Now, where we came up is when we are called, to design the money. So
let's come back to that later.
And is in the archive. Then
hello, Bishop. 1 minute.
Problem come. That's when we were asked.
Okay.
How can
it be effective? And we discussed.
Let's hold on down, Bishop. Hello, Bishop. I know sometimes. Hello, Bishop. Can you hear me? I know. There's a bit of because the distance doesn't matter, but because in Nigeria the network sometimes it looks like I'm trying to call you back, but you're not listening. Let's come back to that in just about a few minutes, because I've been trying to call your attention and you kept on going and going. Because I want us to really now come back. We're going to come back to the Ruba. Many Nigerians are not spending Ruba. They're spending Naira. So that literally means that, I want us to now move into the conversation. What is currently happening? We have a new government in place. It's been 6 months. The festive period is just around the corner. Today is the 13th. That means we are now countdown to Christmas. Many Nigerians around the world are not spending Ruba yet, but they'll be sending dollars, Canadian dollars, the pound sterling, whatever currency from different part of the world, but they're expecting their loved ones to get hold of the Naira. Why are we getting these messages coming from states? I've been called by people saying that I've been to the bank, I can't have access to certain large amount of money. Bishop, what is going on with the central bank and this new administration, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? This is again on the Star Radio UK network.
This is Star Radio UK.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you hear me? Okay.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, you can hear me now? Okay, thank you. All right. Now, Nigeria is functioning of just how can I put it? It's playing on a time frame. Nigeria is gone, so they are just playing on the time until we are all ready to take our destiny in our hand and all that. They can never change, and those who are in CBN are being influenced from the Western world. I will not lie to you. The cashless policy is the ideology of the Western world, the US, especially because of the de-dollarization policy of the East, the Russian, China, they are big on their own Chinese yuan. It's what we did that the China did. They put their money on the blockchain so that the money can move, not only limited to China, but can move all around China, Saudi Arabia, and move on here so they can trade. So that's what they did, and I think their money is about $7.6. Yeah, so people can trade. They are now trading. Now that is breaking the harmful influence of dollar that the whole world have known as the only measure to trade before. So it shrank back the influence and the opportunity of dollar. So America is really losing because of that. And the measure Americans can take is they're working on strengthening the capacity of dollar and blocking all those places they lose. And they saw that Africa is still the open market. And because Africa is still the open market, they want to control the market, and they can only control it by this electronic currency that they are planning, because they are planning a new electronic dollar. So we heard of that. They are planning a new electronic dollar, and it's going to just take over the blockchain. And for a country like Nigeria, the largest economy in Africa, that is still depending on dollar and is indebted to them, they have total control. So their decision is to make sure that they put Nigeria in cashless situation. Then the dollarization will not have effect in Nigeria, but Nigeria will be full of the relying on dollar economy that rely on the dollar, and they can now control your economy. If you mess up, they can block your account right from US.
Let me come in there. Bishop, let me come in there. We saw during the Ukraine-Russia war, a lot of money was held that belongs to Russia around the world, especially here in UK. The UK government literally automatically froze some of the assets of the Russian government. Also, the way money was being transmitted between Russia and the rest of the world was also badly affected. Why are we getting to where they're pushing the narrative of this cashless policy in Africa, in Nigeria? Is that the reason why I cannot withdraw my money from the cash machine or the POS as we know in Nigeria today?
And now, you see, there is an adage in Yoruba, only to run initial rule, even if you are sent a dirty assignment, you use your cognition. Now, the same mistake that Emefiele did around the same December, January, February, March, based on the same influence and the IMF or directive they received, the same mistake is what these people right now they are still doing. But they want to do it in style. But no matter how they try to do it in style, it's going to burn their hands. It's going to explode. It's going to boom right, because you cannot take cash away from circulation when you have built a cash and carry economy. Nigeria is a cash and carry economy. You can't compare Nigeria with America, where you can walk into a store, you buy something, you don't need to hold cash. UK, you buy something, it's not necessary you hold cash. You have your card machine, you have some other ways of payment electronically. Nigeria is not like that. Transportation, you don't have cash, you cannot move anywhere. You go to market, you don't have cash, you cannot buy anything. Few people have this cash machine, and these few people that have this cash machine, where they are using it as a business. In fact, there are many banks for having cash machine. That is what they call POS. There are many banks because for you to get that cash machine, you spend like 70 or 80,000 naira to get a cash machine, and you're going to fill it with money, so that you people that now want to withdraw withdraw for you. And you have graduates who have no job now taking this as an alternative business, and some are now making ends meet from there. And it's not circulating. It's not circulating. I say it's like a mini bank. So it's not everywhere. People still rely on cash. And you want to take cash away from circulation without making a gadget available, or sensitize, or educate, or make provision. These are evil people in the hierarchy of power. On the 8th this month, we saw the memo of CBN, because initially they thought of it how to mop in this money. They look at all the commercial banks. They saw that there are 3 levels of bank operation in Nigeria. You have the commercial bank, which are the larger banks that are regulated by the central bank. you have the microfinance banks. These microfinance banks, they are linked to the commercial bank, but are regulated and registered by the central bank. So, but you now have the third set of the mini banks. They are called fintech banks. They are like virtual banks, apps. So they are not necessary to have branches. They can just have only one office, and they have apps all around. So they are regulated by the commercial bank or microfinance bank that registered them. The same law that gives the card machine to operate from the banks is the same law that regulates those virtual banks or apps. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Because they just help to move money through electronic and pass money out, move money in through electronic and pass money out. So they are regulated by all those commercial or microfinance banks indirectly, the CBN. Now, for you to open account in commercial and microfinance bank, you need your BVN, and you need an ID card, a national ID card, or a driver license, or a voter's card, something, a national ID card, recognized ID card. Now, but all those fintech app banks, you don't necessarily have to have BVN or NIN, because you don't need BVN or NIN to withdraw from your POS. You just give your ATM card,
okay,
and they transfer money out and give you cash. So
right.
let
me come in there, Bishop. Okay, all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So for that, give them right to open account for somebody who not necessarily have ID card or BVN, but they work with your phone number. That's why your phone number can work like their account number, because for your phone number to work, your phone number is already linked with your BVN. You already have an ID card inside your phone number, so they will track your information from your phone number and all that. They don't need all that. It's a good tech work, and so the CBN already knew that that's the right step, and so they help opening accounts for all these Mama Lata, all these provision sellers and all that.
Where was going to
go to commercial bank?
Where was going to come in, Bishop? Once again, if you've just joined us, this is
Star Radio UK.
We know that the CBN is now almost going to close that loophole. That was where I was going to be coming in, because in April next year,
I want to explain the reason why.
Okay.
Now, it is just a gimmick. It has nothing to do. Has no negative things. It's just a gimmick. I will tell you the gimmick. The gimmick is that they have instruction to create cashless society. One, they did not have the capacity to provide the gadgets. Number two, they need the hard currency coming from diaspora. And that's the reason you can't, when the diaspora send in all those dollar, pounds and all that, they are holding it for the elite politicians. Look at the way Tinubu went to Dubai and spent on 1,407 unnecessary people for summit. That Nigeria is not even important there. Nigeria packed people there the same way China, who is the number one responsible for the climate chaos back there, and Nigeria, at least the minimum person there, we spend $6,000, and the higher hierarchy close to Tinubu, we spend $12,000 per day, and they spend almost a week there. Look at how they waste this hard currency that they don't have, and in a country that's still borrowing money.
Okay, let me ask.
CBN need to meet up. The CBN need to meet up with the budget of next year, and they don't have the hard currency, so they know that this December Nigeria is going to send in money from diaspora to the citizens at home, to their brothers and everybody at home. So they have started that gimmicks and the plan to block excessive way that people may want to have access to their money to withdraw. So that's why they come up with idea of
This is Star Radio UK.
People that have an account without BVN and co. But the truth of the matter is, the fintech banks are putting up to them that those rules did not affect them.
Okay, let me ask you.
Commercial bank under you.
Let me ask you this, Bishop, because for the benefit of our listeners, we have so many of them that are concerned, with their loved ones. We've been hearing that the federal government is struggling to repay, airlines. How does this work? I mean, I buy a ticket with Naira. I mean, at some point, the airline has to recoup their money back in dollars, if I'm right. Then what happened if the federal government seems to be struggling? Because the reason why we are struggling today, again, is part of the corruption, where EFCC have now declared, this man for, taking almost $6 billion during the former president Olusegun Obasanjo. That literally also means that we don't have a lot of production in the country. That means we don't have revenue back to reserve for the future. That also indicates that the federal government is literally now relying on the diaspora. And I mean, I was looking at the CBN on the website now, and it says this was sometime around June this year. The central bank approves e-Naira for the diaspora remittance. Why should my family suffer? Even though I am the one doing the job yet, the federal government hasn't sent me out of the country to come and work, because if they've given me the opportunity, I will have stayed back in Nigeria. I have now worked about £10 an hour. I've decided to mop the money together, send it to my loved ones to buy rice and gari and elubo and whatever they need for the Christmas. And it seems the federal government, just as they've been very, very, useless, they've been very, very corrupt, now have to penalize my family for their own selfish gain, if I'm right.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Now, I will explain that the government of Nigeria is centrist. Every nation has forex unit in the CBN department. Now, the forex unit keep the hard currency account for the country. Now, the way it works is that I have forex accounts of different countries that I partner with, that as a country, and I'm trading with you. Like America is a good trader with Nigeria, so Nigeria we have dollar account deposit, UK pounds account deposit. If we trade with Ghana, we have CDs account. If we just like that, so countries always have forex unit now. So now, if your trade is vibrant and buoyant, you will consistently have the forex amount to pay your partners, and your partner will consistently have your own money to pay you. But when Nigeria have problem is that the government is spendthrift, because once they see hard currency in the purse of the government unit that is keeping that, they don't know. I mean, one government will just come in and spend that money on unnecessary things. Now, when they have trade and obligation to meet, they will not have enough forex hard currency to pay the business partner. That's why foreign companies begin to leave Nigeria, because Nigeria is owing them.
So Nigeria is not able. So the country is unable to pay its debt.
Nigeria is unable to meet up with its obligation. And it's not that Nigeria is not selling crude. Nigeria is still selling crude oil.
I was going to ask that.
The fact that they are mortgage a lot of oil well. But
this is Star Radio UK.
To land that they extract crude oil. Nigeria is selling crude oil, and that crude oil they are not collecting naira. They are collecting dollars.
So where is the money?
So Nigeria. But what are they using it for? It's not enough. they have to spend, like, look at what Tinubu went and spent in Dubai. Is it necessary?
So,
and they are borrowing.
So what you let's get this clear. So
they are borrowing dollars.
So we sell the crude oil. We are meant to recoup back in dollars, but because our obligation has become boof, we are unable, to sustain what is coming in to pay back what is on the ground. If I'm right.
Yeah.
So what should be the way forward?
Once you are unable to pay back, the people you are owing will stop serving and they will leave. That's why Arik Airline left. That's why some other foreign partners left. You can't pay them. Even Common Benin Republic here, Nigeria is unable to meet the SEFA demand. That's why SEFA go high. SEFA have to go high, Naira have to fall.
One of our listeners says, I can't continue dealing with Nigeria if your debt ceiling is...
20,000 naira SEFA, now 40-something-thousand naira. Because Nigeria did not have enough SEFA to pay, to meet up the obligation. You have to devalue his naira to pay the short that he has.
So let me ask you this, Bishop. How is this government going to be able to then, we've got 27 trillion budget that has been presented to the Senate. They're defending that budget. Dele Alake, the Minister for Mineral Resources, said this mining illegal and terrorism and banditry are all done by powerful Nigerians. Where is the government going to get the money to fund the budget of 2024?
This is Star Radio UK.
Thank you very much. That was what I was trying to explain earlier on. That is the reason, that is the second reason why they are embarking on the decision of scarcity of Naira that they did. So, and they can't just come out, call those banks and say these are the reason why we want to mob in Naira, because we want to hold the hard currency that is going to come in this December from diaspora. Because number one, the hard currency coming in, you are holding it. You are saying Nigeria cannot collect the hard currency, they should collect Naira. Now, because Naira is devalued and very low, that now make amount of Naira that the people want to collect outrageous for the CBN to service. So the only thing they can do is to create some funny policies, like you cannot withdraw more than 20,000 naira per day. That is the instruction in the bank. You can't give above 20,000 naira per day. And if you withdraw,
this is Star Radio
UK.
Counter,
you go to ATM or wherever, you withdraw more. By the time you withdraw up to 50,000 naira, anywhere you go again, they'll say you have exceeded your limit. Now, if as a person, if you have millions inside your account, you cannot take more than that amount per day. A bag of rice is 70,000 naira. How many? And let me tell you the truth, there is no money in the ATM machine. People go and queue on ATM machine. People go enter inside the bank queue to collect your 5,000 naira. How many weeks will you use to collect that to buy a bag of rice?
So what you have money. So what is this?
When you go to the market, you can. When you go to the market, the one who is to sell rice for you doesn't understand transfer. He wants cash.
So what is this CBN new saying that they've now suspended the deposit charges? The Central Bank of Nigeria on Monday have dismissed report alleging that some licensed commercial banks in the country failed to meet the capital adequacy ratio (CAR). A statement by the spokesman CD Akama.
This is Star Radio UK.
But today, if I'm on the media now, I would have shown you my account. I was still charged the stamp duty today for deposit. A deposit enter my account and they remove stamp duty charge. They wrote it there. They still remove it for depositing into my account. They still remove it. So do you know that Nigeria is a talkative government? It doesn't mean that what they say is active. It's a kind of talkative government. If you are in diaspora, Nigerian government can deceive you because they will say something, and if you believe Normally when the government of a nation speaks, people believe because they have a kind of trust for the government system to meet its demand. But that is not for Nigeria. Nigeria government has no rule of law. That government will speak what he feels you should hear. But when you come to the ground, you see different things, and there's nothing you can do about that. So that was the gimmicks to hold the hard currency that they need to use to fund the budget next year. And with the look of things, the circulation of naira may be short circuit, and they will keep on telling people to spend electronic naira in which some bank network because they don't account in the bank in the commercial banks that does not have BVN. They started working on them.
So let me ask you this.
But all those fintech banks have been left. All the fintech banks have been left alone. All the fintech banks have been left alone because they can operate without BVN or NIN. But they are limited. They are limited
to what they can withdraw.
If you don't have BVN, you cannot transfer more than so amount.
Okay.
Yes.
So where is this?
But the commercial banks is what the law bound.
Okay, let's go. Because I'm very, very pressed with time, and I still need as much to get out of you before we let you go. Just about a few days ago, we got these coming from Reuters. That Moody's have upgraded the outlook on Nigeria to be positive, and it went further to say that the rating agency Moody last week Friday reversed its outlook on Nigeria to positive from stable, citing possible reversal of the deterioration on the country fiscal and external position due to authority reforms effort. The agency also affirmed its CAL long-term foreign currency and local currency issuer rating. Bishop, can you explain what all these mean, for a layman like us? Okay, it seems that, we still have you there. Go ahead. Okay, it seems that we lost him. Let's bring him back. I'm not sure whether you got the message before the line went off. The Moody is talking about the positive outlook in Nigeria. It went further to say that there's a possible reversal of the deterioration in the country fiscal and external position due to the authority reforms. Remember when Tinubu came in, there was the fuel subsidy that was suspended. We talked about that. It seemed that is a fraud as well. But the agency is now talking about a CAL long-term foreign currency, the local currency as well. He also went further to say that President Bola Tinubu is seeking to boost growth, attract billions in the new investment after taking charge of the Africa's biggest economy. Are you still with us, Bishop? Did you catch that?
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm asking.
Yeah,
why?
I got that.
Yeah. So why are we getting this outlook from Moody telling us that it seems that things are becoming very, very stable, even though those on the ground are saying things are not stable?
He has the right to say what he wants to say from his perspective, but if he's a practical person, he will know that he knows the target audience he's talking to. He's not talking to Nigerians. You see, Nigeria is living on a borrowed time, my brother. It's evident, and by the time it happens, you're going to surprise a lot of people. Even many of us that are even agitating will be shocked the way it will happen. See, Nigeria is not attracting any investors. Look at that. Investors are leaving Nigeria. The President Tinubu is begging investors to stay. Now, they look at even where they went to, the countries they went to woo investors. According to what he said, they were wooing them based on, they are not wooing them based on capital, they are not wooing them based on reserve, because they don't have the forex. They are wooing them based on the promises waivers of tariff. Is that what other country does? Wooing them for promising. They will not come. They know what is happening. So let me tell you, and if you see a country, people from your side, they are investors in that country, they are living, and other people now, the same country now come to you, say you should come there. Won't you ask what is making our people that is living? Where will you go? So it's very, they know the people they are talking to, and they are not talking to Nigerians.
Okay.
Because Nigerians know, say, Shege is happening.
Shege is happening. Well,
I just pray that the way things are now, by the time we get to like September, by the time we get to like next year, second quarter, $1 to Naira will not be like 2,500.
Wow. Well,
before we go to second quarter next year,
well,
because they don't have the forex to fund that budget, and the step they are taking now will make the citizen to fight back.
Okay, before they're gonna fight back. Well, let's hope so.
Because you cannot leave the society cashless.
Okay.
You can't leave the society cashless without alternative of spending. Why they have their money, and because you want to afford the hard currency, and you don't have enough. So the next thing the next alternative they will look to balance up the forex is to devalue Naira.
Okay, Bishop, because of the time constraint, I have just about 6 more minutes, because we have another guest that is joining us at exactly 1900 hours. We're still live on the...
This is Star Radio UK.
Many Nigerians, that are looking forward to this government, the expectation is high. Should we say it is too very early to call this government just under 6 months, probably maybe by the first quarter in 2024, we start looking at, the projection out there. What is the projection, as we go into 2024?
This is Star Radio UK.
It is not too heavy to demand to expect from Tinubu. Now, Tinubu is not deceived. Tinubu knew exactly what is it into. They are in him that are deceived. They are scammed. When Tinubu was interviewed in, I think, a Rai TV show, they asked, what would be the first thing that you're going to do when you get into office? He said from the first day, I think the guy running. He said, first day, we are going back, we are still running. Tinubu did exactly what he said. From the first day he entered office, he removed the subsidy. Even though the subsidy has not yet matured to be removed, he removed it. He hit the guy running. He's not lying. He told you that's what he's going to do. And as far you are crying, this is hard, this is the value has gone down. Things we are buying as 5,000 is now 20,000, blah, 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 blah. He's not looking back. He's not changing. He said it. He said the second day they are not looking back. They continue. It is you that vote for them. We said don't vote, but you went ahead and vote. It is you people that are scammed. And you go to face that shaggy for 4 years. If God have mercy on you, Nigeria prayed before the 4 years.
Wow.
If God have mercy.
Shaggy, thank you so much, Bishop, and for joining us again this evening on the Star Radio UK network.
This is Star Radio UK.
Shaggy, wow, what is going on in Nigeria? As many of us are asking questions, but it seems that those questions, are not coming true. Once again, like I said, we're going to be having, a guest in just about 3 minutes. But while we're preparing for the guest, remember that you can also follow us on all the platforms, as we say all the time. I pray that Nigeria doesn't happen to you. We are sending money home to our loved ones, but it seems our loved ones have, been unable to get access to that money. I'm going to be reading some of your comments. It's coming very fast. A lot of you are putting the comment out there in just 3 minutes before we get our guests coming in. And, a very important topic that we are treating later on. My guest is going to be, discussing about our health. Health is wealth. If you don't have the good health, you can't do as much as well. Thank you so much, those of you on the TikTok, wherever you're watching us. I will be telling you a little bit more about that. Mr. Fab said the ATM machines are no more dispensing. If you're in Nigeria tonight and you can't get access to your money, please let us hear that in the comment section. Somewhere Ikere Ekiti today, there was a bank robbery. The bullion van was blown. Periodic shooting, and I think they went away with so much amount of money. There's a lot of Nigerians that are now saying things are becoming very, very tough, and it's getting tougher and tougher on a daily basis. But the question is, what do we do? How do we manage all these? Once again, thank you so much to each and every one of us, that also have been following the Yoruba Nation, campaign. As we continue to say, it is the only way, but it seems Bola Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, says the other way around.
Cost of fuel has gone up.
Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seems anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there is not.
Well, it seems that there is no other way. That is, President Bola Tinubu. Shout out to those of you on the TikTok, and welcome once again to each and every one of us.
Welcome
On the Star Radio UK network.
This is Star Radio UK.
While we are waiting, to get my guest in, we're meant to have another guest, but they couldn't be, able to join us tonight. But let me say this clearly. This is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Every Wednesday, we're down here talking about, not just Nigeria. We talk about the right of the Yoruba people, the right of the Biafrans. We're going to be talking about Nnamdi Kanu before the end of the program at just about 8 o'clock. Don't go anywhere, because on the 15th day of this month, on Friday, in less than 48 hours, Nnamdi Kanu returned back to court. Also, the government in exile is doing the only way they can deal, with the current situation by civil disobedience, and sitting at home has been activated from the 15th to the 19th of December. Christmas is around the corner. There's a lot of killings happening from Port Harcourt, to Akure. The question then is, what do we do? As many of you are already complaining of this injustice that is going on every time in Nigeria. While we are still waiting to get my producer to bring in my guest in quickly, let me say to you also that there is a lot happening, and there's a lot that is going to happen. But what we can say is that every one of us have what it takes to deal with the problem. Let me see if I can hear my guest in back here. I might see if some of you have to listen to it. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, a very good evening, and that is okay. It seems that your camera is done. Okay, we got the camera back in. A very good evening to you. We're gonna see how we're gonna manage this, because I want us to also hear you. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna allow you to speak, and let's see this way. Go ahead and speak. I want to hear something.
Hello, how are you?
Okay, that's fine. That means that when you're going to be speaking, I'm going to bring my own mic down so that we can be able to hear you, because of the sister broadcast that is happening as well. Thank you so much, Bishop Adeshino. We have in the right with us, as she's been lined up to come into the screen in the next few minutes. I call her a mother, not just a mother, also a very good health practitioner. She's been in this industry, for a very long time. She's also a diaspora, a proud Yoruba woman that loves the Yoruba culture, also wants the right of the Yoruba people, to be activated as quickly as possible. We're talking about these icon that believe that, okay, if you can put your phone in the landscape, That means if you turn the phone around, that will be much better for us, so that we can be able to capture you. Not turn the camera around, just that's better. Turn the phone around. I know you want to have it in the in the portrait, but we would love it to be in the landscape. So turn the phone around, so you can turn the phone around and then turn the camera on back.
Oh, you mean? Oh, okay.
Okay, if you can put your phone in the landscape,
can we do that?
if you turn the phone around. Okay, and now. All right. Okay, it seems that you're struggling with that. So what we can do is probably just manage. Okay, leave it the way it was before. We probably have to manage it like that. Just leave it the way you have it before. That will be right. Okay, so I can see your Christmas tree bouncing at the back there. Who are we speaking with? Let me first introduce her to all our listeners and viewers from around the world. She's Chief Medupe Lawal, popularly known as Iyaewe, the mother of the youth. We love the youth on this platform. She's also a healthcare professional, not just a healthcare professional, she's a senior science lecturer for many years. And because I want to take so much from her, let me welcome you straight into the studio. I say welcome like this.
Welcome.
And I want you to go ahead and let's see if we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. I say good evening to you all. And thank you, Mr. Olayomi Koiki. I really appreciate you for the opportunity given to me tonight to discuss with the audience in relation to the importance of caring for your kidneys.
Before we come to that, and I say thank you so much for giving us the privilege to host you tonight on the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
This is Star Radio UK.
Health, as we say, is wealth. Without a good health, you don't have a good wealth. Nigeria and around the world, everybody's looking for money, but sometimes we forget to look after our health. And tonight, as we're going into that Christmas festival where people will be eating the turkey, the chicken, the meat, the red meat, the fish, whatever festival period is a good time, and we cannot, say to people not to eat what they have to eat. Before we go into, okay, it seems that your camera keep bouncing in and out. If you try to make it stable, that will be good for us. Before we go into the discussion tonight, let's get to know you, because as someone that have worked in UK, how long you've worked in UK, how long you've been in this industry. Did you start this practitioner here in UK, or did you start it from where we would say, call it location 9, but for the arguments that we just use Nigeria tonight? How did you get into that industry? Let's kickstart from that.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Koiki. I thank God for the opportunity, because perhaps if I was to still be back home there, I wouldn't be able to go into further education. I would just be like, but this country is a
get into that industry.
Sorry?
Go ahead, we can hear you.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like, well, if I were to be there, it could have been like an hidden glory or hidden talents. There's nobody to encourage you there. There's nobody to push you. But getting here over 30-something years ago, I mean, it was a bit rough, but eventually,
Okay, I hope you don't have any other device running next to you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What I'm saying is, I hope you don't have any other device next to you.
Doing this simultaneously?
Yes.
No.
Okay, that's fine. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, I mean, when I was in secondary school back home, I used to love science. I was very good in chemistry and biology, and geography as well. They were my favorite. I wasn't in the art class. I was in the science class, and I was one of the people leading one of the
Okay, that's fine. All right.
girls leading the I mean, I mean, my mates then. But coming to UK, I mean, it's a privilege, an opportunity to exhume the hidden glory, you know, because I just went straight into biochemistry, access to biochemistry in Stoddard College, and I haven't left Stoddard College for 1 year. You know, I was lucky to be admitted into 6 universities, you know, and haven't chosen one. You know, I chose one university then for microbiology, which was like access to biochemistry. Something is echoing there.
All right. Okay, let's see. I can hear a feedback. I'll see if they can work on that. But let's see. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. We can hear you, but it seems that there's another sound, picking. There's another sound bite picking behind. Let's hope that can be resolved, from the sound engineer. But go ahead while we're still trying to see if we can fix that. Okay, go ahead now. I think I've been able to spot where that problem is. Go ahead. I've been able to remove where the sound bite is coming. The sound should be better now. Go ahead.
Right. So I haven't been to finish with the Southern College, and I went now to Queen Mary and Westfield for microbiology, and I realized that I wanted to do, because I haven't worked, in health industry, in hospitals, and so many hospitals in the care sector. I just developed I was just inquisitive. What is wrong with everybody? Why is everybody sick? Why are people having diabetes? Why are people's legs swelling? Why are people having hypertension? Why are people, so many sicknesses? That triggers me, like investigating. But I'm kind of somebody that likes to investigate. Why is this happening to people? So, and I now, got this degree in biomedical science. Eventually, I went to, it used to be called University of North London then, in our own time, in the 90s. It used to be called University of North London. But then eventually it was changed to London Metropolitan University. And I went there to study and I got the award degree, BSc Honors in Biomedical Science. It was like, wow, I achieved it. It wasn't an easy task at all, because that biomedical science was compounded with lots of pathology, with clinical biochemistry, medical pathology, so many subjects, but with lots of laboratory, experiments.
Just for the benefit of our listeners, again, this is
Star Radio UK.
How many females were on that particular program? I know you were one of them. How many can you recollect? Because most of the time we tend not to understand that we have so many females. You become a mother and a grandmother, but as at that time, you were just interested in science. Do you say that you were the only one, or probably maybe one or two or three other colleagues of yours?
Actually, I was the oldest in the class.
You were the oldest?
Yes.
Go ahead. Let's hear you more.
So it was like I was like a role model to many other people then, because even many of our people that were junior to me, they just said that, oh, since Auntie could achieve this, they too, they are going to develop themselves. So many of them, because of me, they went into nursing. I encourage them that since I could do it, you too could still do it, And
I think we should give you this before you go further.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for that, for being a role model, and you're still a year away, the role model for the youth. Go ahead, we're enjoying the conversation.
Yes. And then I cannot count numerous, how many of them that are nurses today that have, that has gone into, science as well. The hidden glory, started to shine, and so I thank God I achieved that, And somebody, I mean, one pastor was telling me, you are not stopping here. I said, no, it was stop. I can't go further. And he was saying, so, and then thereafter, I just went for my master's in health and social care management. And, I got MSc in health and social care management. And I got many awards, like my verification award, quality assurance management, along the line, lecturing, training, and developing. I've developed so many people all over the world, people from Nepal, from India, from China, from so many parts of the world. God have used me for. Some of them are still with me on Facebook today. Funny enough, they wouldn't let me. They always phone me.
And it seems that we're going to be enjoying some of that as well, because we have a good 1 hour with you. You've been giving us a very great, summary of the beginning, and the way you were saying it seems to be very easy, even though, like you said, it wasn't an easy journey, if I'm right.
It wasn't at all, especially when you are bringing children up. I've got my children that, simultaneously you've got to work, you've got to study, and you've got to look after your children. You've got to give them good moral, you've got to give them good etiquette, and they've got to develop ourselves and bring them up to become somebody, to become, a qualified person in life. So, for combining these two together, all these things together, it wasn't a joke at all. But it is something that a woman has to do. Make sure that it's not only education, going to school alone that is good for children, but make sure that you also impact them and make sure that you give them good moral, good etiquette. While they are seeing you too as a role model, but you may think they are not seeing you. Children are watching you as they are developing. But while I was doing my assignments, they were there too. They were struggling with one computer. Mommy on the computer. When mommy finishes, I will go and do my own assignments. So we were all juggling it together. And to God be the glory today. I thank God for all of them. And I can say that yes, I have my peace of mind, because you bring your children up, in the right direction and the way of God as well. You put God in them. But I mean, definitely you will have peace of mind wherever your children are. You will be, because you have built them up, and now you can relax, and then they will be looking after you when you are older. So that is just.
Wow, that is a very good intro there, and we say for those of you that are watching us, you now have the opportunity to also learn from these our great mother, a grandmother. I call her Iya Iwe, the mother of the youth.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
The best radio show.
She's a healthcare professional, a senior science lecturer. So, do you say that you actually lecture right here in UK? You were lecturing students?
Yeah, definitely. I lecture in most international students. Some of them, they come from, and I also lecture health and social care as well, up to management level. So, because of my master's in health and social care management, I also lecture them, and my experience working in hospitals and working in the laboratories. I've worked in so many laboratories. I worked in Newham Hospital Laboratory. I worked in Homerton Hospital Biochemistry Department. I've worked in St. George's Hospital in Tooting Broadway. I worked there. I've worked in so many hospitals in microbiology. I worked in clinical biochemistry. And I worked in the hematology department as well.
Thank you so much, for all these background, to some of the knowledge that you're going to be sharing with us tonight on the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
This is Star Radio UK.
Now, let's go into it. What is the importance of health, and what part of the body that we're discussing tonight, the kidney? We've had many around the world, especially where we come from, in Africa. There's always kidney problem. Is it an African problem? And what can we do, to deal or probably minimize, the kidney crisis? And the topic we've decided to talk about tonight, it's caring for your kidney. How do we care for this kidney? And what is kidney itself? I mean, I'm just a layman that doesn't even know the function or what part of the kidney or what it is in my body.
Yeah, kidney. I mean, everybody is just hearing kidney. We just know that we go to a layman. Just like everybody knows there's something kidney. I mean, if there's kidneys in most of the animals, isn't it? The birds, they have their own kidneys. The cow that we eat most, they have their own kidneys. You can see the kidney in cows. If you have, in those days when we used to go for Ileya, festival. Idil Kabir festival, when they slaughter ram. When you dissect the ram, you will see the two kidneys there. You can see similar to human being. So the kidneys, they are powerful organ in our body that we mustn't joke with at all. We must respect our kidney and care for them. If you are careless and you are not caring for your kidney, you can be susceptible to so many problems, which may be irreversible. You may be dealing with it for the rest of your life. So, I mean, the adage says prevention is better than cure. So, my advice to everybody is to care for their kidneys. What is kidney? They are like beans. Beans, like black eye bean. I mean, sorry, the red bean.
Yes.
Just like bean shaped. There are organs located near. They face each other. Beneath the underneath the rib cabbage. They are the back of the muzzle. They are not in the front. They are at the back of the muzzle. Around the spine area. Yeah, and they are powerful organ. And the kidney, these two kidneys, there is a tube that is attached to the kidney, which is the ureter. Because I'm not doing the presentation, so I cannot show you, but I'll be explaining it to you. It's a long tube that is attached to the two of them individually. The one that is attached to it immediately is ureter, and then that ureter that is attached to the kidney is now connected to the bladder. You see, I'm going to tell you how they work now. And that bladder is now connected to the urethra, where the urine is passed out. So what do? This organ, they are like sieve. They filter, they filtrate, they filter. Like you filter your stuff at home. You filter. We all have sieve at home. Filter. They filtrate the dirty things or excessive, chemicals in our body. They filter it and they remove it. They remove it and they purify the blood. They work with the heart, isn't it? The heart is responsible for pumping the blood all over the body, isn't it? The blood goes through the lungs to get the oxygen, isn't it? To obtain the oxygen that we breathe in through the lungs. So the heart, it goes through that to get this oxygen and then pump it around the blood. So thereafter it goes through the kidney. The kidney has to filtrate all the excessive acids and excessive molecules or excessive dirt. You have to sieve it away so that we can excrete it out through this kidney, through the bladder and out. So that is the function, and it has to be doing its own job. Because if you disrupt it from doing its own job, maybe I didn't tell you, our body, God made everything perfect. Maybe you believe in God, or you don't believe in God, whatever you believe, our body is made perfect. Our body is like industry. Let me know. Our body is like industry that, you know, each set department have its own function, and they must be doing their own thing. Like the organs of heart now, they have their own function, and they have to be doing their function without any disruption, pumping the blood all over the oxygenated blood, you know, and then removing and then passing the oxygenated, you know, blood to be oxygenated through the lungs, and then passing it around all over our body. Wherever you cut, if you have blade cut anywhere, you will see blood. That shows that your blood is moving around, and this blood, they must be moving. They must actually be moving, and then if you do, unless you disrupt the movement, and then you will be seeing problems. They are multi-talented. Kidneys are multi-talented, and they are the powerhouse with several activities and functions. You see, kidney, when they sieve, filtrate, when they filtrate through the glomeruli, they call it glomeruli, you know, that is what the laboratory people, they test. So there's glomeruli in the kidney, and then the rate at which this glomeruli is filtrating, they measure it in the laboratory, and that is what they call glomerular filtration rate. You know, when people are not passing urine as they should, or they very little urine, or something is happening in the system of the urinary system, they will check the glomerular filtration rate, GFR, they call it in the laboratory. They are going to measure it to see the efficacy of this glomeruli of the kidneys, whether kidney is doing its work, or its work is being distracted. So they work with they are like working with the urinary tract system. So to pass the urine out. What do they pass out? They pass out unwanted things in the body. And that is why when people, they you know, I don't want to speak big English, because when I'm saying big English, people have told me that they don't understand the big technical.
So we want to make sure that, you know, what people can really understand, you know, the basic. Yes, go ahead.
So I don't want to be saying too much. So I will simplify everything in a way that people can understand. Yeah, excretion of some of the functions of the kidneys is excretion of the waste from our body. They regulate our blood pressure. Yeah, when our blood pressure is too high, they will regulate it. When our blood pressure is too low, they will regulate it. That is their function normally. And then they regulate the water balance too. You know, the balancing of the water. There must not be too much water in our body, and the excessive water will be flushed out under normal circumstances. There is an enzyme called angiotensin converting enzyme. Yeah, so they are working with the kidneys to make sure that the waters are passed out. The kidneys, they work with the red blood cells as well. They also work to regulate the acidity level of the body. You know, we have our blood cells, the blood cells in the body. All these blood cells, they are in millions, and they metabolize.
Okay.
You know,
go ahead. Yes, no, go ahead.
Yeah, the blood cells, they metabolize, and they too, they release some acid too. And what we eat too, you know.
I was going to come into that, because I was going to ask, what then, you know, lead to, you know, kidney damage? Is it excess to drinking? Is it excess to eating?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Let me just be flowing stage by stage. I'm getting there. Yeah. So they must be functioning. The acid in our body, they regulate it to make sure that we are acid base are regulated. Not too much acid and not too much, base, because our body must be slightly acidic. So they regulate it to make sure that everything is. So they are doing a lot in our body, and the kidneys also help us to get rid of some things that our body doesn't really want. You have mentioned that the toxins, even microorganisms like bacteria that is in our body, and the urinary system, the kidneys will pass it out through the ureter, and we will pass this infection out. And that is why they ask you to bring your urine when you are feeling burning sensation, when you are passing urine, or you are experiencing a kind of pain or abdominal pain. So when you tell your doctor, they will ask you to bring your urine, and they will use primary test. It's a kind of colorimetric test paper like this. They will use it they will dip it into your urine, and they will check. One of the things that they check is whether you have infection in your urine. So that is the job of so when you are having blood, there must not be blood in your urine. When there is blood, because the blood is supposed to have been filtered and returned back into the system, you see. If you see blood, you are not menstruating. Apart from menstruation, I'm not talking of menstruation now, but other than menstruation, there must not be blood in your urine. Are you with me?
Loud and clear.
Yes, there must not be blood when there is blood in the urine. It is an indication that your kidney is having problem.
That is if there's a blood in your urine.
Yes.
Okay.
That means your kidney is not filtering properly.
1 minute, my mother there. For the benefit of those of you that are watching us, if you're finding it difficult to hear what she's saying, you might want to switch quickly to on the Star Radio UK platform, where you can also see our beautiful mother face, at least for the next half an hour. She's still with us, and I also have a lot of questions. It's going to be the part one. We'll be coming with her frequently, because health is most important. And once again, this is still the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
This is Star Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
Well, we are still turning it up with Iyaewe, the healthcare professional, a senior science lecturer, telling us about caring for our kidney. Like I said, you can join her with her face right inside the Star Radio UK YouTube or Facebook channel. Let me come back again to you, and let me allow you to crack on with caring for our kidney as the festival is getting closer.
Yes, like I was saying, the kidney, for it to function, it requires a lot of pressure, to pump the blood, to filtrate, to do its job. It requires a lot of pressure, and then, but that's why our blood pressure must not be too low, because if our blood pressure is too low, it will not enable the kidney to be pumping the blood as it should be. So the blood pressure must not be too low, because I told you the other time that it regulates the blood, the pressure of the blood. Yeah, one way is by producing a vessel constricting protein. I don't want to be mentioned. It's called angiotensin. And that is the signal. So the kidney also produce hormones that helps to control blood pressure. That is, regulates our blood pressure. It has this hormone too. It does a lot of things, So that is why when the kidney is damaged, you are having problem. There is problem that there is severe problem when there is, damage to your kidney. And one advice I will advise is that I told you that the water, excessive water from the body is being passed through the kidney, through the filtration to the bladder. So this bladder, it's like maybe like apple, like as big as the apple. So that is how the bladder is, and the water from the that is being filtrated from the kidney pass through the ureter into the bladder. And when this bladder is full, or minimally 3/4 full or so, it will send the signals into the brain that even when you are sleeping, the signal will communicate with the brain that the bladder is getting full. So go to the toilet. Yeah, and that is when you feel the urge to go to the toilet. It must be working. And when we ask you to go to the toilet, you must go to the toilet. Don't leave your urine too long.
So you shouldn't allow it to be pressed before you go to that toilet. So if you're the moment you are pressed, that means you've left it too long.
Too long, yeah. Because when you leave it for too long, it can damage your kidney. It will be too full that the water, the urine that is supposed to pass out, maybe that with infection or whatever, and the acid and crystals and stuff that is supposed to be passed out will be flowing back instead of flowing out. It can be flowing back to the kidney, and these are the things that could damage the kidney. So make sure, especially people who are teaching, who are lecturing, people who are driving, people who are working in the hospital, like the nurses, doctors, and everybody. Even the drivers that are driving long distance, they feel they are holding their urine. No, it is not a good habit at all. When you feel the urge to go to the urine, the system is telling you that your bladder is full. Go and empty it. Empty it. You must be, at random. You must be passing your urine. Yeah. So that is that one. And then the urine itself, that is the reason why, to make sure that infection is not in our urine or it's not in our body. When you must be checking yourself from time to time to make sure that the infection is not in your urine, and when there is infection, deal with it quickly, because if you don't deal with it quickly, it can damage the kidney as well. It can cause problems.
So when the I know, because we have very
trigger the immune cells.
Yes.
Yeah?
What I wanted to ask you is, again, as we want to make sure that our kidney functions, to perform, the miracle that it should be doing, but also we've been hearing lately, does it matter whether you're young or old? Who does have kidney infection? Is it people in the mid-age, in their 60s, in their 70s? Have we seen, statistics? I don't have the record. You might be able to tell us and share with us. What age bracket are we looking at, in terms of the, damage to this kidney, and trying to make sure that we care for it, especially giving us all this advice?
Yeah, a lot of things can cause infection in our body, because the root of infection can be through our mouth, it can be through our skin, it can be through the water we drink, it can be through our sexual relationship, it can be through, because many factors can cause infection in our body, and whatever it is, just check yourself intermittently, and don't take any medicine. And don't say, this medicine will cure this, I have to take it. No, just go to your hospital, let them do the test to check the exact problem. They call it cultural and sensitivity test.
Okay.
To make sure that it is the exact problem. If it is bacteria, they will deal with it specifically. If it is fungi, they will deal with it specifically. The people in the laboratory will do the test and inform your doctor the medication you need to take. If it is penicillin, they will tell you to take it. If it is antimicrobial medication, antibacterial, they will give you the exact medication. So don't go and be taking antibacterial to cure fungi. No, it won't work. So make sure you go to the, and then what we need to also watch what we eat, because when we eat too much fatty food, like eating cow food, butter, putting butter in our bread, or eating sandwiches with butter, when you eat all these things, they break down in the liver, and like I told you, our blood must be flowing, all around the body. If the density of this fat is too high, too big, too large, that the blood cannot move it around, it's going to go and store somewhere. It can store in your kidney. And that is why people have something they call kidney stones. When you have kidney stones, it is not like the stone, the stone we throw. No, it is not that stone.
Okay.
It is the lump of these fatty things you eat. All this, in Yoruba they call it pokoto, or cow food. All this meaty food. A simple experiment.
Let me find out from you. I mean, when people say they're going for dialysis and all that, is that part of the kidney problem, or that's a different?
Because they cannot filtrate. The kidney cannot. That is kidney failure.
So the moment you get to that stage, you've literally lost, your kidney already.
Yeah, the kidneys cannot pump the blood to the. Cannot sieve, cannot clean the
so
the
that is the
blood.
reason why you go for that dialysis, so that they can clear, they can kind of flush it out and then clean it and bring it back in.
Yeah, they have a system, external system, that the blood will pass through
Just to clean.
to do the function of the kidney, that to mimic.
And that is quite expensive in African countries, especially like country like Nigeria, because many people that have got damage to that kidney. Go ahead. No, you go ahead, ma.
Yeah, because they are eating what they are not supposed to eat. When you are young, you can be eating all these things because you are still, you are in that stage whereby your enzymes, the organs in your body, they are still very effective, and they can break things down.
Easily.
The job of the liver is to, when there is excessive sugar, it can convert it to fat. Fat can be converted into sugar. Liver is doing its job. But when you are loading this body system, as you are getting older, your organs are getting slightly older as well. They are not as efficient as they are. The blood, you are loading your body with excessive fat. A simple experiment is boil meat and allow the gravy, the water, to cool down. You will see on top of the water, you will see fatty substance. I should have done this and come and show you here. You will see the fatty on the surface, and that is how it stores in our body, and it stores in our kidneys. And when it stores there, you disrupt the function of the kidneys. When you are having these kidney stones, you will be having stomach ache anyway. You will be feeling uncomfortable, and when they do the scan, MRI scan, or scan it or check it, they will discover that there is external body that is preventing the function of the kidney, the efficacy of the kidneys to be performing its function.
So when you once again we still have with us Chief Modupe Olalawal, also known as Iyaewe, a healthcare professional, senior science lecturer for many years in United Kingdom, discussing caring for our kidney on the.
This is Star Radio UK.
The best radio show. The best radio show.
I wanted to ask, when we get to a stage, because this is just going to be the part one, I still have to bring you in because we cannot complete the whole conversation in one go. My concern is many Nigerians or many Africans, we tend to disbelieve that, if something is wrong with our body, it's probably a spiritual attack. When it gets to a kidney failure, what then happen? What are your chances of living longer? Because if the kidney, from what you're saying, is not working perfectly, you need a support system to be able to allow it to work. I've seen friends that have died because lack of opportunity, especially in the healthcare sector in most African countries. I know here in UK, there's a good service to support many of those patients that have kidney failure. But you have been telling us how to make sure that we protect that kidney. But again, many people might disagree and say, well, I'm just going to do what I want to do. It's my body. But then what will be the end result?
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, some people will say, leave me, let me just be eating what I like to eat. At least it is one thing that will kill somebody. So, I mean, I enjoy it. Even though a friend of mine that had a slight attack, like we call it cardiovascular accident, stroke, a mini stroke. She couldn't speak properly. Her speech was slurred, and still I went to greet her. She was still telling me she loved meat, and she used to be a nurse, a retired nurse, and I was saying that you love meat, and the sister was saying yes, she always asks them to buy meat, and she has stroke already, and she's still eating, something that is not good for her health, so I can imagine, well, you can take the water, a horse to the river, you can't force them to drink. It is for us to do our job like we are doing now, to explain to people, to educate people, to know what to eat and what not to eat. Eating meat, excessive meat, and it's not that they shouldn't eat meat, but eating it excessively, just eat. You cannot be eating it like when you are younger. When you get to a certain age, you have to cut it down. When you are young, yes, you can eat it, but as you are getting older, if you continue to eat it, you are going to be blocking your arteries. You are going to be, it can even create a lump in your breast. It can create, that fat that is supposed to be, the blood that is supposed to be moving about. They can't move these fats, and they just go and deposit them. They can deposit them in the kidney. They can deposit them around, anywhere in the body. And they can prevent your blood from flowing. And when the blood is not flowing to the brain and the arteries are blocked with this fatty substance, then you will have, stroke, and the person may have heart attack and just collapse and die. You see? So kidney must be working. You must be drinking plenty water for the toxins to be flushed away, for the efficacy of your kidney. For you to be filtrating properly, you must be drinking plenty clear water. It's not. I'm not talking of fizzy. I'm not talking of caffeinated drink. I'm not talking of all these sweet drinks which can even trigger your diabetes or something. No, clear water. Just drink clear water is the best. I'm not saying you shouldn't drink, this occasionally, because our body requires glucose as well. Our brain requires it to work. But too much excessive things is bad. Just drink a little and drink plenty of water to flush out the kidneys, all the toxins, all the things that has been accumulated in the kidneys, to flush them out.
All right.
And then don't eat, all this fatty butter. People like butter in their bread. People, if they don't see butter, they cannot eat sandwich. They cannot eat sandwich, and all these things they break down and they accumulate somewhere. So
the healthcare in UK, we know is becoming very strained. In the last decades, from what we've been hearing, the NHS is struggling. To get an appointment is becoming very difficult. And in as much as many people complain about those at home that has very bad health system, also those of us here in UK, we have to also make sure we look after our health. And it seems that many of us probably we're not paying money as much as those in Nigeria, because it seems that through the tax system we are being looked after by the very powerful NHS. But does that mean that we have to abuse the body and then allow NHS to deal with it? But as against those in Africa and Nigeria where they don't have access to the health care, they also have to look after their health. so that they don't get trapped in a system that doesn't have the good healthcare for them. So it's like a reverse. Here in UK, we are not literally. I mean, you're not going to pay. I mean, that's subject to your status in the country. You're not literally going to pay. To be attended to be looked after, but there might be delay with your appointment with the consultant. Do we then abuse the body because we have access to the healthcare? And those in Nigeria, they're also abusing the body, but they don't have the good healthcare. I'm sure you understand what I'm trying to say there.
Yes. You know what? If you abuse your body, if anybody abuses his or her body, they will suffer. They are the one that will bear the pain. They are the one that will bear the pain. Because when we are warning you to desist from this, and you kept on and on eating it on and on again and again, whether you are in UK or you are in Nigeria, is even worse, because you will pay all your family will be donating money for you to get
to get you a good health.
Sorry. To
get you a good healthcare.
Yes, and that is because the health system, there is no government hospital that is so efficient to be caring for you there. Gone are the days when the government hospital were functioning well during Papa Awólọ́wọ́'s time. But this time around, if you damage your kidney or damage any of your organs, you will be bearing the pain. You'll be bearing the pain, and you will be throttling the hospital to be filtering your blood. To be filtering your blood, you will be booking appointments. Even in UK here, like you rightly said, Mr. Koiki, you wait a long time for you to get appointments, isn't it? Yeah. Even to get your blood tested, you know how long it takes now these days. Yeah. So you will ask you to go and book it through the internet and to check for availability. To even to go and donate your blood for testing. It's difficult. So the best thing for you is to live in good health. Drink plenty of water. Don't eat too much meat. Everyday meat. Even the wives, you are the one killing your husband sometimes because you want to satisfy him. You go and buy cow food, all these fatty things. Even fish too. Fish. There are hormones in the fish too that are being induced in our body. So you have to mind what to eat or what to give to your husband to eat. So when your husband is eating all these things, suddenly they have stroke, and eventually maybe some people, they may not even have stroke. They may not have any warning. They will just have heart attack and just drop dead.
Wow.
And they will say now it is juju, it is voodoo they used to kill them. No, because you have been careless.
Wow, they've been very, very careless. I have 10 more minutes with you, and I still want to get as much. Like I said, this is going to be the part one. We hope we can get hold of you. If not, before the end of the month, we'll probably have to bring you in January after the first mood.
This is Star Radio UK.
As Christmas is getting closer, we're gonna be eating a lot of things. What are the advice that you would like to give us, as we're gonna have to not just care for the kidney, but caring for the body? The body hygiene is also important. Many time you see, especially with the new social media that is being used today, you wonder why some children are being overfed and things like such. As the Christmas is coming, the festival month, for those of us that will be celebrating, what is an advice as a mother, and also how important are the youth, when it comes to getting them to understand that your body must not be abused as you're growing into that adulthood? Because we see them eating as much, like you said, it's good, they can literally burn it out. But in the long run as well, at some stage, maybe some of them might not be able to burn it quicker than others, because we know our bodies are all different.
Yeah, my advice, like I've said, I've been saying it along the line. When people are picking up, I mentioned to you that you must be drinking natural water, plain water. Make sure it is clean. Clean water, drink clean water. Make sure the water you drink is clean. If you don't drink clean water, you can be susceptible to infection, but the roots by which infection gets into our body can be through water, it can be through then the sexual activities as well. Let us be careful. Use Durex. Don't allow infection around your body. Yeah. And then other than that, I've mentioned, prevent this, kidney stone in your body by not eating fatty foods, all these fast foods like chicken, all this burger and stuff. They are fatty. They are going to your blood cannot, flow them. They cannot move with the blood. They are going to be deposited somewhere, and they are going to be blocking the arteries that is supposed to be flowing to the brain. When the brain oxygen is not flowing to the brain, you'll be having problems. And another problem is causing people to be having incontinence. They say incontinence of urine. People that are not, they sit down like this, they just pass urine. They don't even know. The other time I said that the kidney will signal, the hormone in the kidney will signal to the brain that your bladder is full. But in some people, there is problem. There's cut off in the communication problem. In the communication between the bladder and the brain. And that is why some people just sit down and pass urine, because nothing is communicating from the brain that your bladder is full. So they just sit down and that is what they call incontinence. And that is happening to so many, men and women in the care home, and where they use incontinent pad to they wear it on them, because they don't know. It's not their fault. They don't know when they pass feces. They don't know when they pass urine. So that is because there is problem in the kidney system. And then my another advice to people is that do not hold urine, especially all the professionals that are working. There is toilet everywhere. I'm not talking of location, that place, but here there is toilet everywhere. If there's pub around, if you are feeling like passing water, go to the pub. They will allow you. You pass water, and then drink more water. Drink plenty of water to flush the toxins, all the excessive sodium, all the excessive potassium, all the excessive ions and molecules that is the body does not want. Flush it out.
What about
the body can remain healthy, and then eat vegetables. Eat plenty of vegetables. Eat plenty of fruits.
This is Star Radio UK.
I was going to ask, the kind of food that we eat as Africans, we love our meal. Should we say that some of the food as well, has there been any research done that, maybe I know everything has to be inadequate, because some of us just love, this swallow, we love, maybe with the vegetable might go well with it. Probably a little bit of less meat inside the bowl rather than having like 5 meats, and then with the swallow and everything. What advice do you give to our communities? Because we have, a lot of our communities, that will be preparing that heavy meal, especially during this festive period that is just very close to us now.
There is something they call change in management. And change management is something that, as you are getting older, you must fix something in your brain that what you are used to be eating big when you are in your 30s, you cannot be eating it again when you are getting to your 50s. I'm telling you. You see, all this chicken that you said, you are eating chicken. Do you know the number of growth hormone that they've been injected into this chicken? And you are eating them, and you are passing this hormone into your body to be enlarging your kidneys, to be enlarging your livers, to be enlarging the organs in your body. You will be getting enlarged, and you need to mind what to eat. Even if you want to eat this chicken, grill them. Let the water put them in the oven. Allow the water to be and all this hormone to be excreted. I mean, sorry, not don't let me use the word excreted. To be released. Allow this, put them in the grill or oven, before you eat them, and eat in moderation. All this eba, swallow and something. Well, eba for our Yoruba gari can be good, because Yoruba gari has been they've separated the starch. They've removed the starch from the cassava. Is better than all other garis, because the way Yorubas prepare their own gari is that they remove the starch. So it's not the gari is not really problem for the Yoruba, but the pounded yam, which is eat them in moderation, a little bit. Eat not every day. If I don't eat it every day, I'm not myself. No, you are going to be loading your liver and your pancreas too. Your pancreas, it is called amo in Yoruba. Your pancreas, you are going to be damaging it, and because they will not be able to we are overloading them in the sense, to the extent that they won't be able to regulate your glucose. Because your glucose is supposed to be regulated, but when you are eating pounded yam all the time, eating this, you are overloading them, and you are going to develop diabetes subsequently, and you are going to also damage your kidneys as well, because when you are overloading your kidneys with excessive sugar, you are overloading your liver with excessive sugar. You will be in for it. You'll be in for it. You are damaging your organs.
Wow. So
prevention is better than cure. So mind what you eat in moderation, and eat plenty of vegetables. If you just put a scoop of pounded yam and plenty of vegetable, and don't put too much salt in it, because salt, what they do, they store water in the body, and when you damage your kidney, when the kidney is damaged, your body will be suspending water. There will be excessive water in your blood, because you will not be able to pass the water out. So you will see your face will be swollen. Your hands will be swollen. Your hands will be swollen. Your legs your feet will be swollen, because the water that is supposed to be passed out through the kidneys, you have damaged it. So as a result, you are not able to let your kidney work properly.
Wow.
And that is why people go for dialysis.
Wow. I know we can't catch up everything tonight, but I can assure and promise our listeners that we're going to bring Olayomi back again on the network to speak to us, hopefully, if not before the end of this year, God's willing, in the new year, because we might also have maybe once in a month where you will have to continue to come and talk to us, because we want to be living in a good health. Before I'm going to let you go, one more advice, for those our young ones, both at home and those in the diaspora.
You see, there is something, because people want to be at alert all the time. They want to keep awake, so they drink coffee, and they want to be they drink caffeinated drinks like Red Bull. Red Bull is something common, and there are so many of the Red Bulls out there. They drink it so that to keep them awake, to keep them at alert. Like somebody that came to do my my gas yesterday, he was asking. We were discussing coffee. He loved coffee, and I was saying that you may love coffee now, but the damage that coffee is going to do to you in the long run, you may not like it, because you are disrupting the program of the brain. Our brain is programmed when to wake up, when to be asleep. The time you are supposed to be sleeping, you will remain awake. So you are disrupting the function, and this in the long run, it may make you to be forgetful. Because you may put something there, you may forget that I put it there. You may be looking for your car key. the car key that is in your pocket, you may be looking for it all about. That is the sign of that dementia can be becoming, threatening, forgetfulness, memory loss. You are damaging the neurons of the brain. You are damaging the nerves of the brain. All this caffeinated drink you are drinking, you want to stay alive, you want to be staying strong. And it can induce diabetes as well, because there are lots of sugar in these caffeinated drinks you are drinking. So I will advise you to stop
to reduce at least a little bit,
and stop drinking coffee as well. There is coffee that is decaffeinated. Maybe that one can be good, but stop drinking caffeinated drink, and because it's going to damage your organs, and it may, in the long run, it may make you to be forgetful, and later on in your life you may develop dementia.
Wow, we don't want anyone to have such. Thank you so much, Mamawa, for joining us. I guess we will still come back with this same discussion. It was great to see you some 3 weeks ago, I believe, if not less than that, during the Yoruba Thanksgiving. I want to touch on that just for the next 5 minutes. The Yorubas, because this is where the segment of the Yoruba campaign kicks in. We should have talked about it from about half an hour earlier, so we have the last half an hour. I know you are involved as well in these movement, the campaign for the Yoruba nation that we've been talking about to many of our listeners. What is your take, when it comes to this movement? Where do you see the movement? Do you think that it is the right of the Yoruba people, to officially have their own independent, country out of Nigeria? I know it's a little bit different from what we are discussing, but I just want to take that little bit of your knowledge as one mother that has also been involved behind the scene, working quietly with the movement.
Definitely. I am working every day to make sure that Yoruba people get out of Nigeria. And what I do is that I'm involved with the prayer team every day by 11 o'clock. Every day we pray. With this team, we gather together on our Zoom. We pray for God to remove remove Yoruba from Nigeria, from the captivity of Nigeria, because Nigeria is like exploiting the Yoruba, all our resources. They're exploiting it and using it, and by using it, our youth, they are suffering. The government, there is particular ruling body that say that they are the one that will be controlling Nigeria, irrespective of the tribe that they put there, whether it is Yoruba or Igbo. They are there, that they say that yes, they are the one that will be controlling beneath. They do what they ask them to do. If they don't do it, they will plan to kill them. And this thing is affecting it's affecting our youth. There's loophole to be stealing, to be money that is supposed to be for the community, and our youth, they are suffering. There is no plan for them. There is no plan for the coming generation. There is no plan for this generation. No plan for the babies. No plan for the children. No plan for the elders. No plan for nobody. They are just doing it their own way, and people are suffering. You can imagine, say, somebody getting 30,000 naira or 40,000 naira salary. If you are getting that and you have to spend that money on transportation, what is left? Nothing. People are suffering, and that is why people are going the other way. So things that has not been happening, abominations are happening. People are funny people are there. They are just tricking people and stealing money and doing all sorts of prostitutions. Our girls, because there is not and many people are fleeing the countries. to go all over the world, they prefer to go and be slaves.
And we're saying that, as you mentioned, that the current administration of President Bola Tinubu is begging. I read out in one of the articles, the dailies today, that all the doctors that have relocated should return back to Nigeria. It's literally begging them.
How can you? Why was he maltreating them? People spend how many years to go and study medicine? They spend like 7 or 8 years to go and spend medicine. It was not government that supported them. It is their parents that is selling akara or selling palm oil or selling pepper, that gathered money or borrow money to send their children to school under sufferness. They suffer a lot to bring and they finish no job, and they give them peanuts money, and they'll be suffering. Sufferness is not good for the body. It's not good for the life of human being. They kill the morale of people, they kill destinies of people, this government. They're killing people's destiny. A lot of children that are supposed to be famous or be doing great things, they are killing their destinies. So they have to flee. Why asking them to come back? They're gone.
Wow. Well, it's good to get that bit of input there, because I know that you are one of the mother that is working quietly. Thank you so much for joining us on the
This is Star Radio UK.
And I hope the next time I invite you we're able to get through the technical bit of it, which is what makes the technology to be beautiful. And it's good to to be able to have you on the platform this evening on the Star Radio UK network. Once again, thank you so much. And your final 2 minutes wish to all our viewers that are listening to us on all the different platforms from different part of the world. And I'll let you crack on that before we say thank you so much for joining us.
My advice to you, as the Christmas merriment and getting together with your families, with friends, going to parties, enjoying yourself, traveling all over the world, my advice to you is that just look after your health. Mind what you eat. It's not everything that they serve you have to eat. And you wives, make sure you look after your husband by not giving him something that can damage his organ. Because when the organ is damaged, if he can survive it, he may either have stroke, which he may not be able to speak again, his hand and leg may be paralyzed, or he may even have heart attack. So please, you wife, look after your husband. Make sure you give a food full of vegetables, a little bit, not all the time. You have to be eating swallow when you are getting older. Maybe once or twice a week is all right. And let it be little bit, and let vegetable be plenty, and salt. Reduce your salt intake.
Wow.
Reduce your salt and drink plenty of water.
Thank you.
And alcohol drinking, I'm not saying, little bit of alcohol, little bit, but don't make it like you want to drink 3 bottles of stout, of schnapps. I mean, like you want to be drinking schnapps like you are drinking water. All these things will damage your organs, because the organs of the liver, they are fluffy. All the organs of the kidney too is fluffy. The organs of the heart is very fluffy. If you damage them, you can easily damage them with all these alcohol drinks. So be careful. Mind what you eat, and be careful and mind what you drink. Eat less salt, eat less sugar, eat less butter, fatty things, and then you will live fine.
Thank you so much.
And fruits. Eat 5 portions of fruits every day. Different fruits.
Wow. Thank you so much, Yahweh, and that has been, one of the, the mother that has also been working behind the scene when it comes to the movement. Thank you so much, and we're going to let you go for joining us this evening on the Star Radio UK network. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. You are very much welcome. Anytime, you are welcome. I'm pleased to.
Wow. That is Yahweh there. I've been on the network with us.
This is Star Radio UK.
There with us. I know some of you were unable to get as much of our audio, but we will work on that next time she was with us on the program. We are literally 18 minutes to the end of the program, and I want us to quickly give you some of the update that is happening. Nnamdi Kanu returned back to court on Friday, the 15th day of the month of December. I'm sure many of you remember that Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, renditioned back, to Nigeria by the previous administration, President Muhammadu Buhari and the Yemi Osinbajo, and it seems that the DSS have kept him in their custody going to almost 3 years. The question now is, will there be justice for Nnamdi Kanu on Friday? Will the court decision be abide by the DSS? Thank you so much to many of you that have joined us tonight. It's been a lot of comment that have flew through. We've been able to catch on some. Thank you so much, Mrs. Sharifa Agbabiaka, Mr. Biodun Monday. Shout out to you, Akinwumi Fakoluju. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, Mr. Fatai Mogaji. Shout out to you, Mr. Kendi Husseini Salami. Thank you so much, Easy, all the way in Miami. Olakunle, shout out to you. Good evening to you as well. We haven't been able to see Comrade Shegun Ono and also some of our listeners as well. Triple DRS all the way in Woolwich. Shout out to those of you as well. Mr. Fad, it seems that also that the sound was going in and out, but like I said, we will work on that. Eniola Unda, thank you so much for joining us. To my beautiful mother, thank you for standing with us. Mrs. Basirat Olatokumbo, shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining us. And likewise, Waris Jinodu, thank you so much. Bishop Adesina, we appreciate you for being there with us. I'll be giving you some of the headline that I know came out of the dailies this particular day. Mrs. Fatima Mustafa, thank you so much to all the GR1. Thank you so much, Mrs. Comfort Ologunja, Kunle Bakers, and as many of you that have been following us, Tony Ages. Now it's going to be the last 5-10 minutes where we're going to discuss the Yoruba movement. I know that we've taken a bit of the slot of Ilana Modua, but this time around it's all going to be in Yoruba language for the next 5 minutes. Akigbogo yomo Yoruba pátápátá nílé lóko ní gbogbo bíkíbi tí ẹ bá tuntun tún darapọ̀ tẹ́tí ń gbọ́ wa lórí ètò.
This is Star Radio UK.
Ní ọjọ́jọ́ Wednesday náà ni a máa ń wá sórí bíbá tí a máa ń sọ fún wa pé ẹ̀tọ́ wa ni pé ká túbọ̀ polongo pé a fẹ́ kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà. Nàìjíríà kì í ṣe orílẹ̀-èdè ní ibi tí wọ́n ti ń sọ èdè kan náà tí wọ́n jẹ́ ẹ̀yà kan náà. Gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí wọ́n ní torí pé Bọ́lá Tinubu ìyẹn ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń bẹ níbẹ̀ tó jẹ́ ẹni tó ń darí Nàìjíríà lénìí kò ń ṣe pírẹsidẹ́ǹtì Yorùbá o. Pírẹsidẹ́ǹtì Nàìjíríà ló jẹ́. Manifesto tó wà níwájú ẹ̀ manifesto ti APC ni, kò ń ṣe manifesto ti Yorùbá. Ìyàtọ̀ tó ń bẹ láàrin àwa àti ẹgbẹ́ APC ni pé àwa kì í ṣe ẹgbẹ́, àwa ń béèrè fún ẹ̀tọ́ wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìlànà tí wọ́n fi sílẹ̀ ní abẹ́ òfin United Nations Charter tó wà ní 1514 December 14. Ìdí tí a ṣe ń sọ fẹ́yìn ọmọ Yorùbá pé election tí ẹ dìbò ìdìbò tẹ́ ṣe ní February kò lè gbé wa lọ sẹ́nìkan, kò lè gbé wa lọ síbì kankan. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń sọ pé aṣíwájú ti débẹ̀, ìyẹn Bọ́lá Tinubu, ìyẹn adarí Nàìjíríà lénìí, pé òun ló máa wá pín Nàìjíríà, òun ló máa gbé structure tí Nàìjíríà máa fi ya sí oríṣiríṣi ọ̀nà. Lótìtọ́ ohun ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀, àmọ́ ǹjẹ́ àwọn málà, ǹjẹ́ àwọn gàǹbàrí, ǹjẹ́ wọ́n máa gbà bẹ́ẹ̀? Ǹjẹ́ àwọn gàǹbàrí tí wọ́n jọ papọ̀ tó fi di pé ó di olórí wọn ní ìgbà tí wọ́n ń ṣe primaries, ǹjẹ́ wọ́n máa gbà fún? Ìdí tá a ṣe ń sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé eléyìí táwa gbé dání yìí, ìdí tí a ṣe ń pariwo ẹ̀, ìdí tá a ṣe ń polongo ẹ̀ kò ju pé ó máa fún wa ní àlàáfíà tẹ̀mí gúngùn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo ohun tí Délé Aláké sọ. Délé Aláké jẹ́ kó yé wa pé nínú Nàìjíríà ń bẹ, ibẹ̀ ni àwọn tó jẹ́ èèyàn ńláńláńláńlá, àwọn èèyàn gbòógì, àwọn ló wà láàárín pé terrorist, banditry. Báyìí ló ṣe wá nínú pépà tó jáde ní àná àtijẹ́ta. Délé Aláké òun ni mínísítà tí ó wà lábẹ́ mineral resources. Gbogbo in tó jẹ́ nǹkan mìíràn tí Elédùmarè tó fún wa nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tó pọ̀ rẹpẹtẹ, ó ní àwọn nǹkan ni wọ́n ń jí. Àwọn tó ń jí yẹn kò tún wá ń ṣe ọmọ Nàìjíríà nìkan, kódà àwọn àjòjì náà wà lára àwọn tó ń jí. Ẹjẹ́ akan tó sọ, ó ní Délé Aláké powerful Nigerians behind illegal mining àwọn èèyàn ńláńláńlá ló ń bẹ lẹ́yìn gbogbo nǹkan mìíràn tẹ́lẹ̀dùmarè tó fún wa. Ìdí tá a ṣe ń sọ fún ọmọ Yorùbá pé nígbà tẹ́ ti wá lọ dìbò tán báyìí ẹ má complain. Ìtàtúlẹ̀ wá ṣe ni pé ìdìbò tó ń bọ̀ ní 2027 ǹjẹ́ wọ́n tún máa lọ gba PVC àbí o máa tún lọ fi PVC ẹ̀ wá tún lọ fi tẹ̀ka fún APC. APC ò lè gbé wa débi tá à ń lọ nítorí pé àníyàn táwọn ní àníyàn pé ká wà nù Nàìjíríà ni. Gbogbo àwọn tó wá jẹ́ gọ́fúnà wa àtẹ̀dúpẹ́ pé Akérédolú ó ti fi ipò sílẹ̀ pé òun rìnrìn àjò láti lọ tọ́jú ara ẹ̀ kọ́lọ́run ọba Elédùmarè kó fún lálàáfíà. Àwa ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá láti ìlú Èkó lọ sí Ògùn State títí dé ìlú Ọ̀yọ́, Kwara, Kogi, títí dé Ondo, títí dé Èkìtì, títí dé Ọ̀ṣun, títí dé Kogi. Ǹjẹ́ gbogbo wa tí a ti dìbò ní 2023 kí ni àbábọ̀ ẹ̀? Gbogbo yín náà lẹ́ ń pariwo pé ebi ń wà níta. Kò wá ń sọ̀rọ̀ ebi nìkan ló ń bẹ níta. Gbogbo ẹkọ́nọ́mì ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pátá ni wọ́n ti destroy. Ìwọ náà béèrè pé okòwò tó ń ṣe lénìí owó tó fi ń ṣe business yẹn ǹjẹ́ ó ń padà nínú pé abá Bishop Adésínà sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n jẹ́ kó yé wa pé gbogbo àwọn diaspora tá à ń fowó ránṣẹ́ sílé àwọn èèyàn wọ̀ rówó gbà báyìí o. Owó tó yẹ kó gbà ìjọba ti gbẹ́sẹ̀ lé kò jẹ́ kó rówó gbà jáde o. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá sẹ́ndì 100,000 naira fẹ́yàn afẹ́ tójọ́ mẹ́wàá tó máa fi gba owó yẹn jáde. Béèyàn bá lọ sí hospital ọlọ́mọdékẹ́mi ti bọ́ lára ẹ̀. Ìdí tá a ṣe ń sọ fún yín pé Nàìjíríà ò ń ṣe ìlú tó ń tọ́jú èèyàn. Máa ṣe àpèjúwe fún wa. Ìyẹn lánàá ìkan náà àwọn ọmọ wa tó ń bá wa ṣiṣẹ́ nílé wọ́n pè mí wọ́n jẹ́ kó yé mi pé ó rẹ̀ díẹ̀ o ó ti rẹ̀ o. Mo ní kí ló dé kí ló ṣe? Mo bá pè é ó ní ó rẹ̀ òun ọ̀gá nítorí pé kí ni òun ní ibà òun tẹ̀ mọ́ bó ṣe ń ṣòun. Mo ní ọmọ bó ṣe ń ṣe é kẹ̀ mo ló da máa tọ́ lọ kẹ́rẹ́kẹ́rẹ́. Mo ní ṣe ilé ìwòsàn kankan súnmọ́ ẹ ó ní street mẹ́ta sẹ́dọ̀ tòun pé lótìtọ́ hospital kan wà níbẹ̀. Mo kí bàbá wa Àrínọlá Ọmọọlá, mo kí bàbá wa Saheed Balógun, mo kí Ọkọya Afọláyan, mo ní sàlámù aleikum bàbá wa Àyìndé Usman, ẹni ẹ kú ètò bàbá mi kí bàbá mi Dámì Ìgbòho ṣá a máa kí Ìgbòho láìpẹ́ ìka tó máa lọ. Nígbà tí ọmọ wa tó ń bá wa ṣiṣẹ́ yìí nígbà tó dé ilé ìwòsàn náà tó wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ ilé ẹ̀ wọ́n ní kọ́kọ́ san 1,000 naira owó card. Nígbà tó san 1,000 yẹn tán wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí í ṣe àyẹ̀wò fún. Nígbà tó máa fi di aago 5 àárọ̀ yìí wọ́n ti fún ní drip 2. Ǹjẹ́ mọye tó cost wa kò ń ṣe owó tó pọ̀ náà fúnra wa tá à ń bẹ nílùú òyìnbó láti sẹ́ndì sírú èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀. Àmọ́ òun fúnra rẹ̀ àti ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ní láǹfààní àti lọ tọ́jú ara wọn tí wọ́n ò bá rí ẹni tó lè fi ìrànlọ́wọ́ fún wọn. It cost us 10,000 naira pẹ̀lú owó card ó di 11,000. Èbè wa ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá pé ǹjẹ́ wọ́n ní 11,000 láti lọ́ọ́ fi gbọ́ omi sáré nígbà tí ó máa fi di àárọ̀ ẹ̀ ní aago 5 tí mo pè ní UK time mo send message sí ó jẹ́ kó yé mi pé drip ọ̀hún kọ́ o òun ti gbà tán ara àwọn tútù lé kókókó bí ọ̀tá ni. Mo wá ń béèrè pé àgbo tó ń mu kò ń ṣe pé kò ní ṣiṣẹ́ àmọ́ iṣẹ́ tàgbo máa ṣe ó yàtọ̀ sí pé kéèyàn lọ sí ilé ìwòsàn kó tọ́jú èèyàn. Ìdí tí gbogbo yín ṣe ń sá fún ilé ìwòsàn ni pé owó tó máa béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín owó tẹ́ fẹ́ fi jẹun ni. Ìdí ta ṣe ń pariwo ta ṣe ń polongo pé ẹ wo ìyá wa tá a bá sọ̀rọ̀ ìyá ìwé kọba Elédùmarè kó tún jẹ́ ká rí wọn pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́. Wọ́n ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa kidney wọ́n ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa kidney. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá ti kú nílé láì ní àǹfààní fún medical health. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ní ẹni tó bá lálàáfíà òun ló lè ṣe gbogbo nǹkan o. Arákùnrin tẹ́ ń sọ yìí ǹjẹ́ yín mọ̀ pé láàárọ̀ yìí òun ló wà lára àwọn ọmọ tó bá wa tún lọ ṣe fídíò nígbà tí mo tẹ́ ń sọ pé kó padà sílé kó lọ fi èní kó fi sinmi. Ó ní ọ̀gá ara òun ti le bí ọ̀tá nígbà tó ti gbá omi sára òun. Ìwọ náà mo wá ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ lálẹ́ yìí ǹjẹ́ tí èèyàn kan nídìílé ẹ tó bá rẹ̀ wọ́n díẹ̀ ǹjẹ́ o lè gbé wọn lọ sílé ìwòsàn kó wá kó 11,000 naira sílẹ̀? Ǹjẹ́ ó tẹ̀ ní 11,000 náà? Lótìtọ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá ló ń ṣàánú àwọn tó wà nílé wọ́n dẹ̀ ní ojú lórójú tó fi ń ṣàánú. Mo wá ń fi àsìkò yìí àtúnfi kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pátá nígbà tá a pè yín níjọ́ Jímọ̀ títí díjọ́ Sunday pé látòrí sister platform wa tá a mọ̀ sí Koiki Media pé ẹ jẹ́ ká fi nǹkan ránṣẹ́ sí bàbá wa dókítà olóyè Ìgbòho Òòṣà nítorí pé tí a bá wo iṣẹ́ tí bàbá yìí ti ṣe fún wa tá a bá wo àníyàn tó gbé síwájú àníyàn kan náà ni àníyàn pé kíran Yorùbá kó bọ́ ní oko ẹrú lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ yẹ kó máa yé wa pé nígbà tó gbéra tó jáde òun náà níjọba lè mú wọ́n ti lé wọ́ ẹ̀ ibi tó ti ń ṣe business ẹ̀ wọ́n fẹ́ẹ́ pa sínú ilé kó tó di pé àwọn onílẹ̀ wa wọ̀ ráyè jẹ́ kí wọ́n pa olóyè Ìgbòho sínú ilé àwa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tí a pè tí ẹ jẹ́ wa ní within 48 hours mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìyá wa mo dúpẹ́ lẹ́yìn bàbá wa mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹni tó fún wa ní 2,000 naira ẹni tó fún wa ní 3,000 ẹni tó fún wa ní 200,000 ẹni tó fún wa ní 250 a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo yín àwa ń kí gbogbo yín pé ẹ ṣé o ká tó wá máa tẹ̀síwájú wọ́n jẹ́ kó yé mi pé rédíò tá à ń retí kábèsí ẹ ṣé kí n gbé mọ́lẹ̀ wọ́n ní rédíò ọ̀hún ó ti ń wà nínú ilé díẹ̀díẹ̀ àmọ́ tó bá ti délẹ̀ tán pátá màá jẹ́ kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá mọ̀ àmọ́ o kò ń ṣọ̀fẹ́ o a máa rà á ní o ìyẹn rédíò agbẹnusọ̀rọ̀ tí a máa fi gbọ́ Yorùbá Nation nínú ẹ̀ kò ń ṣe shortwave nìkan ló ní ó tún ní FM kódà wọ́n náà níná mọ̀nàmọ́ná tí ẹ lè fi òrùn tẹ lè fi charge ẹ lè tún charge fóònù yín lára ẹ̀ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ iṣẹ́ ló máa ṣe fún gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá nílé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti ń béèrè pé Mr. Koiki báwo la ṣe máa ra tiwa a fẹ́ rà àwa náà fẹ́ rà fún mọ̀lẹ́bí wa tó bá ti di ibi tí wọ́n ti sọ fún wa pé ó ti wà níbi tí ó ti máa wà mú títà nígbà tí a bá ti gba information nìyẹn bọ̀bí ṣe ń sọ fún yín wọ́n ti send àwọn àwòrán kọ̀ọ̀kan sí mi pé Mr. Koiki ẹrù ti fẹ́ sọ ó kù díẹ̀ chinchin ni àmọ́ èlò lọ́ọ́ máa tà á bí ti ṣe ń gbọ́ afẹ́ tó 25,000 naira kẹ́ lọ́ọ́ máa múra sílẹ̀ a fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa security lẹ́ni àmọ́ tó bá dijọ́ Jímọ̀ lórí ètò títọ̀dọ̀ tiwa pàdé bàbá wa General Trustana àwọn náà máa bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ security ní South West wọ́n dà ní rédíò yẹn nígbà tó bá ti jáde síta gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá náà la máa sọ fún mo kí bàbá wa Akeem Ayọ̀délé mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ní gbogbo ibi tí ẹ ti ń gbọ́ wa tí ẹ ti ń wò wá ètò tèní òun náà la mọ̀ sí.
This is Star Radio UK.
màmá ní.
Welcome.
mo kí ọmọdé mo kí Paris TV mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá káàkiri àtẹ̀yìntẹ̀ ń bẹ ní diaspora a tún mú good news kan wá fún yín ìwé bàbá wa tí mo ń sọ pé bàbá wa kọ ìyẹn alànà the history of the Yoruba people 1978 ni bàbá wa Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè the only leader in the self-determination any other one is a counterfeit gbogbo ẹnu la fi sọ Yorùbá ò tí ì gba ìlú o àìtí gba country o ẹ má jẹ́ kó gbé yín ní mugun àwọn kan wọ́n gbéra wọn ní mugun báyìí wọ́n hàn gàrà wọn báyìí wọ́n gbéra wọn sí mugun wọ́n náà ti gba Yorùbá kódà wọ́n náà máa gbéjọba délé kan wọlé gbogbo yẹn fàbú ni o ọ̀rọ̀ bí apalọ̀ ni o irọ́ pátá ló ń bẹ níbẹ̀ kò síbì kankan gbogbo ẹnu mo fi sọ journalist tó dáńtọ́ ni mí kò síbì kankan tí wọ́n lè sọ fún yín pé Yorùbá country òun ló wà nínú system kan níbẹ̀ yẹn irọ́ ló ń bẹ níbẹ̀ gbogbo yẹn tẹ́ ti darí lọ sí ọ̀hún yẹn Ọlọ́run ọba Elédùmarè àfiṣọ́ ẹ̀ṣọ́ yín níbẹ̀ àníṣọ́jú bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ bọ̀ pé Yorùbá ti gba country ẹ̀tùtù ẹ̀dànù irọ́ ló ń bẹ níbẹ̀ kò síbì kankan pé a ti gba country a sì fẹ́ gba country ni àwọn Biafra gan tó dáńtọ́ tí wọ́n ń ṣí ọ́fíìsì káàkiri tí wọ́n pèrà wọn ní government in exile lábẹ́ bàbá tí ó ń darí wọn tí a mọ̀ sí Simon Ekpa the current PM of the Biafra àwọn gan fúnra wọn gan yóò ti declare àwọn dẹ̀ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ẹ̀ka káàkiri ní gbogbo àgbáyé ó wá ní ká sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá náà pé ẹ má gbàdúgbò àwọn kọjá níjọ́ Jímọ̀ tó ń bọ̀ yìí nítorí pé lockdown máa wà lọ́dọ̀ tiwa níbí tí gbogbo tó bá ti ń ṣe àwọn Biafra àwa máa polongo ẹ̀ níbí báyìí torí pé right wa ni pé ká bá wọn polongo ẹ̀ right tiwọn náà ni pé wọ́n fẹ́ kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà it is everybody's right and nobody can stop our right so and on that note ká tó máa parí ètò ti tèní I say thank you so much to my producer Mr. Archie Hammond, to Frank David, Mr. Francis Guyana and the rest of the team for making sure that every Wednesday we are live on the
This is Star Radio UK.
The best radio show. The best radio show.
mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí pé ẹ tún jẹ́ ká máa pàdé ní ọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ ní ọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ yẹn àti fẹ́ máa wọ mẹ́nu wọ Christmas máa gbàgbé nǹkan kérésìmesì ọdún dé kérésìmesì. Make sure you get us our own Christmas gift as well. But on behalf of the Star Radio UK network, we are wishing all our listeners on the Naija Voices happy Christmas and Merry Christmas in advance for many of us that are celebrating. Mo kì í celebrate Christmas ìwọ nìyẹn, àwọn tó ń celebrate má bá wọn jà. Èṣù kò kí ń ṣe ntí kò dá fáwa. There will be a lot of event that is coming up on the 24th in UK here to the 25th, and also in Nigeria in the southwest, and we will be broadcasting that. The one in Lagos, I guess our team will be there as well. When it comes to culture, when it comes to everything, if you love this outfit, you've been watching it all day with Mr. Koiki, ẹ̀yin nìkan lẹ́kàn ń dán wọ́nrọ́mọ́rán, kí ni ẹwà rẹ̀ mi náà ni pé ẹ̀yin náà wá lọ sí ibi tí èmi náà ti ń ṣe kí ni tó ti ń bá mi gé sára, tó ti ń jẹ́ kí n look good. Tẹ bá rí i pé eléyìí yẹn ló ń pè ní àdìrẹ tó dúró dáadáa tó tẹ́ pé nígbà tí mo wọ̀ lọ ní last week, it was a very beautiful one. So if you love what I'm putting on tonight and you also want to have something of this, why not get in touch with Omita Culture? You can check them out. Omita Culture is spelled OMITFCOUTURE. I'll repeat that again. OMITAFCOUTURE. Or you can reach out to them on WhatsApp +234-813-8528. I will take that number again. 081-385-28588. Àwọn ni wọ́n ṣe kí ni àwọn ló ń gé sí mi lọ́rùn pé Mr. Koiki, we want to make sure that you look very good on Naija Voices. These programs have been running for the last 6 years. We appreciate as many of you that have been part of the program. But like I said, Omitaf Culture is a fashion designer in Lagos State. Bespoke Tailoring Ashwebi. If you go on their page, there's a beautiful one that I see there. One of our sister there, that she's looking like queen. She can do it to your own exact. You can decide that whatever she's doing for you, nobody will be able to have it in town. Why not check them out? If you're in America, if you're in Canada, if you're anywhere in the world, if UK, if you're in Turkey, if you're in Cyprus, if you're in Australia, if you're in Japan, some in Japan, and the rest of you, they can also deliver to you. And like I said, check that out, as I'm going to be handing over now to my producer in the next few minutes. So the link for Omita Culture is the one I'm just saying to you. Once again, thank you so much to my beautiful mom for standing. It was great to see you again this afternoon before I make my way to the studio. Shout out to those of you in Elephant and Castle. Shout out to those of you in Kent, in Milton Keynes, and those that lost their loved ones at the Sosoliso plane crash. We continue to pray for you. May Nigeria not happen to you. May Nigeria not happen to me. It is a right of the Yoruba people to ask for a total exit from Nigeria, and that right will be respected. Once again, the Omita Culture, you can find out more from their website, and all the details have just been posted. Make sure you communicate with them. You will be able to say thank you. You're glad you did so. They've been doing what I'm putting on for a very long time, and I'm telling you, you will never regret it. Mr. Kende Salami, thank you so much. And those of you on the Mix LR, I say shout out to you. Alao Baba, Ogumola, Abiodun, say thank you so much. You are the best, and I love every one of you. My name is Olayomi Koiki, and I'll be back same time next week as we continue with the end of the year. So next week is going to be like a summary of almost everything we've talked about in terms of the Yoruba Nation campaign. We're going to focus more on that next week. I'm going to bring in one of our guests. And on that note, I say bye bye, Udabo, au revoir. Bye for now.
This is Star Radio UK. This is Star Radio UK. This is Star Radio UK. This is Star Radio UK.
The best radio show.
Are you ready to turn it up? All around the world.